Alrighty. How about we get started? Go ahead, Ismail, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So yesterday, continued working on that legend list, and made good progress, but we're still not there yet in terms of beginning it to work on chat 100%. Let me see here. Sorry, it's Google wants me to verify myself real quick. I'm gonna share my screen on my other computer. Join. Um, so if we look at this phone right here, so again, we're using we're using it here, and you can see it's working fine with, sometimes it does that where it's all black screen for a bit when you scroll too fast. I don't know if we'll do that on an actual device or not, so we do need to test it. And like yeah, like I saw right there. So but in chat now it's still at a weird state where um, I made good progress in terms of now if we go, you can you can see it's dancing around a little bit until it figures a few things out. But then it does start at the bottom, and this is it inverted, if that makes sense, because they don't support it. Like they don't support inverted technically. They have a different method. Um, so I'm gonna try on a kind of a new chat and start going step by step to see why that dancing happens at the beginning. Um, so a few things we have to, make change is how we push data. Like we used to push it to the front, now we need to push it to the back because the list is technically not inverted. And also we don't use on end, we use on start now because technically the new data, which is loading here. Again, you can see it's doing all this weird stuff. So this is the stuff I need to figure out why it's doing that. But it is actually paginating, even though it's not doing it, properly as you see here. But it does paginate. So again, it's a little crazy, but it works and it is inverted. I just need to figure out the whole spacing and the jumping. So a lot closer than where we were yesterday.
Hmm. Do you spend all day on it?
Yeah, it was pretty tricky getting it to work the way. I mean, getting it up until here was more work because like it's not just the list. We're switching a lot of logic within the chat itself because, like I said, like how we add data to the list now is different, and with subscriptions, updating the cache is a little different. So it's everything was optimized for flash list and invert. Now it's different. So
Yeah.
a lot of changes. It's not just setting up the list; it's setting up everything around it as well.
Right, right. Do you think we should keep going?
Um, yeah, I think we can afford to spend a day or two on this more to see how it plays out. If because there's potential benefits on the like on the long run. Like for example, once Flashlist 2 comes out, if it's a lot better, like it means that they're gonna be using the same system, so we don't have to update everything to get to Flashlist 2. This would already be here. So there's benefit to getting it to work. And Amin was gonna also help me with one thing. He was gonna go to the Showtime library, try to get a newer version to see if it plays nicer with Flash List. Because they don't have that new version released in for as like a version number, so we have to like go to their main branch. And he wanted to fix something. He had patched the older version to work for our app. Now he needs to patch the new version to work for our app. So he's gonna get that done, and he can do that in a separate branch, and then send me the code once it's done, because he knows better how to do it in Showtime. But yeah, after that's done, we're gonna see if it helps or not, and then like as you see now, it's like organized, right? But there's like it starts going crazy once it starts paginating. Like it takes it a minute, but eventually it does paginate. So technically it's working, right? But like weird stuff like this happens where you have to give it time; it would sort itself out eventually. So I
Yeah.
want to see why it's doing that, how to handle the dynamic item sizes, and so on. So after you get all that figured out, then um, we'll be good to go.
All right. I
It's weird because we're using the same thing here, right? Like this is the same list. It's not inverted, but it's the same list on the list, and it's not doing that as you can see. But maybe in here because the item sizes are a lot closer, where the other one there's like a huge change between, for example, a topic card with 3 comments compared to 1 message. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe we have to handle it properly. Like we have to do. I think there's something called get item size where we can like kind of give an estimate of or tell what to expect. So that's where it's like gray area for me. I haven't done it before, so I'm kind of reading up on that and trying to implement it as I go.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I think it's worth another day or two. It has, you know, potential to save us a lot of time updating Flash's version 2, especially if it works better. So I think it's worth to spend a little bit more time on it. And like I said, I mean, it's going to be helping me with a few things, and we can kind of maybe have one more work session after he's done with the showtime and after I do more research and try to see where we land.
We have another user not getting an auth code today.
Looks like Mexico.
Is there any reason why we wouldn't get one there?
Probably not. I don't think so. Not one I can think of. I was just looking at that.
I just, yeah,
It's a number that's more than 10 digits.
and what does that mean for us?
We're supporting numbers up to 10 digits. I think 10 or 11 digits right now.
So
I can work on supporting more than 11, more than 10. I don't know what the side effects are.
well, wait a minute. I had this conversation with Eric a while back. Did you change it to where we can't support them at some point? Because we were.
I think that it was architected as we can, but Eric just set a limit right now to where it is 10. I don't think there's going to be a big problem, but I'm just letting you know that the system is limiting it at 10 right now, and we can work it out to support greater than 10.
But we've had people on board in lots of other countries.
Yeah, other countries all have 10 numbers.
Some have 9, some have 11. Like I think
Yeah.
UK has. Go ahead.
9 is fine.
Okay, I'm pretty sure UK has 11. Not positive, but I remember trying to think back to my conversation.
I know that this number 333-488-8106. That is 12 digits.
Yeah.
So with the country code, I don't think it's a big issue. I can work on it. I'm just saying that it's probably by design right now. It's not doing that. And I think this is just an old Eric thing. And if it's something that you talk to him about, and it was like, yeah, it's fine to do it, I just don't think he actually went and did it.
That means we've never been able to have anybody on board from any countries with more than 10 digits.
The 12 from the 12 digits, yeah. And I talked about in those
or 11.
The countries that we saw that didn't have it were countries that we didn't want to support. Like I think Kenya was one of them.
I mean, that one has less than 10, but
or there was a couple countries that was in our list that we weren't supporting, and that's why it wasn't prioritized. But if this is how phone numbers are in Mexico, I mean, I can work on it. I'm not. I guess let's just make a decision right now.
Well, the decision for me was made long ago.
Okay, it was Eric. It was made with Eric before, and this is the first I'm hearing about it. If you want me to take it over, I can start working on it right now.
Yeah, what I'm worried about is there's no there's something that we changed that we already had it working.
I don't think it's because
before you drop, when are you coming back? And did we get a build yesterday? And what's the status at?
So just one thing about the audio for the video. If you have your phone off of silent, it does work. If your phone's on silent, it won't.
Interesting. That's good.
Yeah. So that's one thing if you want to check that. As far as builds yesterday, there was no builds. There wasn't much PRs in because I'm just still kind of well, there are actually 2 PRs that came in from Amine, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, and mine is approved, so I'm gonna merge that in, and I'll review Amine's today, and yeah, but there's not we don't want the legend list in any of the builds yet, right?
No,
Okay, because we're trying to get a production build here.
right.
Okay, and we want this to be pointing to production again, because yesterday you guys said you wanted QA.
Yeah, the last one had it was didn't have enough, wasn't stable enough.
Wasn't stable enough. Okay, so I'll get Amin's PRs in. And if there's anything, Amin, that you want to get in today before I create the build, just slack me before I start it. I'm not gonna start it now. I'll start off to come back in case there's anything left. And yeah, we can have a build today without the legend list.
All right, sounds good. And when you be back? A couple hours.
I'm probably gonna go to an appointment, and then there's a Friday prayer after that. So I'd say after I'm done there.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
yeah.
Okay, let me know when you're back.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Ismail.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Jerry, I just don't want you to duplicate efforts or do something that conflicts with something that's already there, because my understanding was already fine for a long time.
And look, I would say 6 or so months ago, like we only had the app really supported in the US. The only person outside the US was India and Morocco, so Amit and Amin could onboard. And it wasn't until a couple months ago we opened the floodgates to everywhere's.
Does
I-
Morocco only have a 10-digit number, and same as India?
India also have 10-digit number, so I'm able to log in using my number.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What
Yeah.
about Morocco?
Yeah, we too have 10 digits number.
Okay. But what about the UK?
So oh, I haven't given this any look right now. So anything technical, I think that's what I just need to like direct myself to looking at the database and seeing what it's set up to support right now.
okay, yeah, UK is 11 digits.
And we're just going on past conversations right
Right.
now. And I just let me check the tables.
Also, I was able to create an account with my Moroccan phone number. I don't
Yeah,
remember when it was that,
but
but I
it's
was able to.
but it's a 10-digit number.
Yeah,
Right.
and I was able to create the account.
Yes.
Yeah, 10s are standard. That's the US
Okay.
number.
Yes, we only support 10 at a time. So that's I'm looking at database right now. It's 10.
That's so weird, because that means, if I'm hearing right, no one from England has been able to onboard ever.
If they had an 11-digit number,
They all do.
then yeah.
I guess there's some that have 10 digits, but for the most part, they're all
Mhm.
10 digits. Okay. Will you investigate that? Doesn't sound right.
It's 10. I'm looking at it in a database. It is like anything beyond 10 will fail. Like the column size is set to 10.
Okay.
So yeah, what I should do is I should address this, and we should have it for 11 and 12-digit numbers.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
I'm still confused. I don't think I have all the information. So I don't know. There's no way. I was in England talking to Eric about it.
Mhm.
So
It that's I'm reading the database right now.
yeah.
That,
And we had a user in Switzerland or Sweden for a really long time. All right. Are you sure you didn't make that change?
no, 100% I didn't make it.
Is that's for sure the be all end all? There's not like some other place that could be longer?
No, this is the phone number table.
Okay.
It's all. It's called a char 10, which means it is a fixed length 10-digit, like 10-character field.
That's weird because I have seen users over in Europe too, but
So maybe country codes might be longer. I just need to investigate into this, and I can give y'all more information as I go.
Okay.
But I
well,
think,
the country code doesn't count for the 10 numbers, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So let me count this guy's number again. Mexico. 333-488-8. No, that's 10 digits. That was a 10-digit number. So yeah, let's check Firebase.
Yeah, who said this was 12 digits? You're counting the country code?
I might have saw there was a long country code, but let's check this out.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that the problem Todd had yesterday was just some kind of super random fluke. I think when something like that doesn't work, it's bound to not work again and again.
I mean, if we could try to contact Google, but I think what they're suggesting is going to be is that they kind of don't want to deal with SMS because
Sure,
it's expensive.
but I mean, I don't think Uber has a problem. Like we can't not have people on board.
Mhm.
We have to solve this.
Let's see. They could very well have their own authentication system. It's not hard to make an authentication system. Like you can to send an SMS, but you have to know which system to handle it with, and I mean it's not really plug and play. Oh, I just got the logs. Yeah. This guy should have gotten sent his verification code from Firebase.
Right, just like Todd should have yesterday.
Well, Todd did get his after like 5 minutes.
Yes, did. I can't imagine that every Firebase customer in the world is going through this problem, including Sircles, 2 days in a row now. I feel like it's something on our end. I mean, yesterday Todd didn't get his verification code for several minutes, and then they came in, and now we have another user today with a similar problem. Is there anything you think of on our end that could be a problem,
Did we look in the logs of the Google console of why?
Jerry?
Yes. So we all got them in real time. I mean, we got all the API requests and they all returned 200 like at the time of
No,
request.
no, I'm talking from the Google console, like Cloud console.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And it was reported that is 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
My theory on this was that his provider, that his carrier was holding the messages for potential spam screening before sending it to him. Or either Google has a queue of messages that they got backlogged on and then they pushed them all to Todd at the same time.
Yeah, could be because.
Yeah. I mean, oh, go ahead. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if no error was reported to the Google Cloud, where like they log everything, every little detail they log it, that it no error is there. Either, which I don't think it's the case, the Google Cloud login is failing. They're not able to do that, which I don't think so. Or as you were explaining, like the carrier for some reason they were holding those messages.
Like I would like for Todd's scenario, I would like to know if Todd can reach out to his carrier about that.
Okay.
About
Sure.
these SMSs and get the timestamps and see if they can say if it was held for any reason because you requested it 5 minutes ago and it came later. And I feel like you're going to have to try and get hold of a technical engineer type person over there
Right.
because I don't think it's something that I don't think it's something they would have at like a first level of support, but there is infrastructure behind it
Sure.
that I could explain it.
Yeah, I can try and call and see who I can get some help from.
Okay. Let's, John. I think we should do that. And I'll see what's going on with this guy too, and maybe let's find out what carrier he's on to.
Okay. I'd be interested to know if he ended up receiving the codes again, like Todd did. Just late.
That's what I'm going to think as well. I'm going to keep watching it.
And so, from your point of view, he should have received the codes. Like everything was sent. There was no errors.
Correct.
Oh boy. I hate this. I hate this. I don't like moving on 2 days in a row now. We're talking very small numbers of people attempting to onboard. Imagine when it's a much higher number. I absolutely hate this situation without having answers or solutions. Because there's everything tells me that this will be an ongoing problem and will scale as we scale. And
Mhm.
you're doing something's not right. I don't know what's not right, but obviously something's not right.
Mhm. Yeah, and with Firebase, I'm not able to give you all the answers because the point of Firebase is that it's managed. That Google is basically like, trust us, it works.
Yeah.
Eh,
I
eh,
mean,
that-
we have a guy at Firebase we can talk to, remember?
yes, and he's gonna want to know the carrier. He's gonna want to know the time. And last time we talked to him, he was like, "Well, let me try to send an SMS." And he tried to send it, and he was like, "Did you get it?" Yes, no, and it's like that doesn't explain what happened at that exact time period.
Well, they should know on their end if everything worked.
I'm going to say I did not have much confidence when we talked to him, like about that particular issue.
It turned out it was on our end. We fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing the request too many times.
Mm-hmm. And we implemented the app check, but I'm not seeing like extra requests from us now. Like I was able with him, I was able to find it in the
Yeah,
comments
well,
when
we
he
know
was-
that's not the problem. Todd ended up getting the messages.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how it didn't come on demand like it should have. Maybe, I don't know, Todd, did you press resend twice or too quick before? I mean, that's not really possible.
No, I saw where Todd only requested it once.
Just waited for the countdown to count down. I think I've seen this before too. Actually, in fact, fairly recently. Now that I think about it, I think it's happening a lot more often. Oh boy.
If I would like Todd to get with his carrier, and if we can get that report, then we can take that report and give it to Firebase as well. That's more
Okay.
more legwork that we can do. But if Firebase says, "Oh no, check with the carrier," we say, "Okay, we got with the carrier. This is what they said."
I've had to hit the resend button recently. Now that I think about it, I probably have a screen record of it.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I got it on the resend.
The pod got 5 at the same time.
You press the resend button 5 times, Todd?
No.
Or how many did
Yeah,
you get?
four.
Maybe it was 5. 4. Did you request them 4 times?
I think I okay. Let me think about this for a second. Oh, here's what happened. When I went to request it, it moved on to the next screen, right, where I had the bubbles to put in the code, but the new code never came in, and I didn't wait to hit resend. I went back to where it says enter the phone number, but there was a little spinning wheel that was there, so I couldn't do anything there. So I closed the app and did it again, and I did that 4 times. And then so I went through, put the number in, hit request code, went to the next screen where it has the bubbles to put in the code, didn't get it, force closed again, and did that 4 times. I actually never was able to hit the resend button.
Wait a minute. How did you resend the code without hitting the resend button?
I closed the app.
You close the app, the countdown timer resets.
Yeah, there was nothing. The app just opened again and went back to the screen.
Okay. I mean, are you listening to that? I feel like some clues here. I think this is on our end. I don't think this is just a carrier. I don't want to do that. I want to figure out exactly what's going on. So first of all, I mean, is that possible that you can just force close the app and then the resend code button resets, and then how would you get another code then, Todd, if without hitting the resend button?
I requested a code again.
You hit the resend button.
No.
No.
I went through the process again of the onboarding.
Oh,
So I force closed the app, and it brought me right back to where I left off to request or to enter the phone number.
so that's actually a screen before entering the auth code.
Correct.
Unless you hit the back button.
Correct. But back button didn't help. Remember when I hit the back button, I couldn't retype the number in and hit send or whatever it was, because the send was a spinny thing. It was like in motion. I couldn't actually do anything. I had to wait for the countdown timer on the next screen, but I didn't wait. I was being impatient. I just closed it. And then when I reopened the app, I was at the screen to enter the phone number, and the button was available to request the new code. So again, my phone number's there. Hit send or request, whichever that button is, and then it let me move forward to the next screen to enter the code, but the code never comes in. So I didn't wait for the timeout to hit resend. And when I hit the back button, I couldn't just re-enter the number again because it was in a little spin. The enter or send button was in a spinny state. So I forced closed the app and did it again. So I never actually hit resend.
Okay. What do you think? I mean,
Yeah, that's normal. After closing the app, open it, you will be in the phone screen and you will be able to request a new code. And we don't control whether you will receive the code or not. Like technically we don't. And even like if you did resend, it's the Firebase that control whether send the new code or just resends you the same code again in a different message. So, but he didn't get any message at all, any SMS at all. So I don't, I don't see how this could be a front end issue. And this was Android.
Correct.
And I want to look to the logs again. If you remember, like the timing of this, So
Yeah, let me get my. I can tell you exactly when it was.
or just give me just the phone number you used. I'll search with it.
Sure. You ready?
Uh, yeah.
916
Thanks.
918
918
5238.
5238.
Correct.
Okay, let me-
This would have occurred around noon yesterday, Pacific Standard Time.
Jerry, is this guy that was trying to onboard today? Does he have an Android or iPhone?
Let's find out. iPhone. And I see they requested 2 codes within 36 seconds of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried the retry button, and like it's all 200 for me.
200 what?
Like 200 means Google says it was sent.
Okay. Google says it was sent from Firebase back to the guy's phone.
That's all I see from my logs. Yes. I have the phone number, and then I have success, and I have the time. Like I can share this tab with you and show you this is what it means looking for Todd right now. But if you see my screen, let me know when it's visible.
Yeah, 1 second.
And yeah, same for me. I couldn't find any error for this phone number. They were all success. So
So, John, you can see my screen?
Yeah, I was just looking at the screen record that Brandon sent. When did this come? It's a very old invite ticket, isn't it? What am I looking at? Yeah, go ahead. I see your screen. What am I looking at?
Okay, this is the Firebase logs. These are the Google logs that Amine was talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm looking up the request for the phone number. This is the phone number that was from that screenshot, okay?
Yeah.
And I only see 2 logs here. I see both of these logs are for send verification code. Okay, this is the API call that's made to send them the text.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look in the response, where is it? Request status. Status is empty. There's no error here. I could show you what an error would look like it just gives you info log
Why is status empty?
because there was no error. I can go back and show you other.
Shouldn't status be like pass fail?
Like I can show you some other examples. Like this is for another number. This is get account info. Let me find one for get send verification code. Status is empty. Like there's no error. So that's why it's empty in here. But this is, let's see, response. Oh, look, there is I can give you, this is for, get reCAPTCHA config. And once you get the SMS, then we call this the sign in with phone number. That's what signs you into the app once you get.
Yeah, but he didn't get that far.
Right. But if I look up something for like my code, my phone number 1-862-5. I've never had an issue with getting a verification code. Oh, because I haven't onboarded the past hour. Did I in the past week? Last 7 days. Okay, send verification code. Status empty. But I did get a verification code. It looks like right here, actually, my app tried to request 2 of them. And the first one said invalid app credential, but then it sent me another one and I got it. I've never had an issue.
So there is a problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
Well,
I
mean,
like.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean, can you take a look at this? Jerry said he's never had a problem getting a code, but this is showing that it attempted it twice.
Yeah, it's not a problem because the first time that he tries to send it, it get blocked, and it's like it get blocked because of the trying to verify the client, whether it's a like a legit client or not. Then it retries again, so that's fine. That's like in their native code. I remember like looking into that. This is how they like at first they just like try to send the SMS, and if it's get blocked from the backend Firebase backend, they will try one more time, but this time they pass like a capture token to let know the Firebase backend that this client is really legit, and it passes the request.
Okay. Why did it say status 0?
That's just there's no error. That's
Okay.
when this passes. This is an info log.
So you think this is just fine here? I mean, there's nothing to worry about here.
Like, is this like Todd phone's number that he sent me?
No, this is
So-
Jerry.
Is the one? Yeah, like from this log is it's not the same phone number.
No, this is Jerry's phone.
Jay's phone.
Mhm.
And you two had the same problem?
No, Jerry said he's had no problems.
Yeah, and that's how it looks like when you don't have a problem. This is the log how it looks like.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. I see a red warning.
Well, can you open that? If you look to the timestamp, well, there's a 2
2
seconds.
seconds before the success.
Yeah.
That lines up with what I mean, saying that the Firebase native code has its own way of retrying one time if it has an issue.
So there was an issue.
Well, it could be something with the app verify, but it tries a different way. Like Firebase expects this. They expect if there's an issue with a captcha, it sends a captcha token, in what he was saying. I think we're pivoting. I really don't think this is something on our front end. Like I'm seeing that we're sending the code with an SMS, like we're sending the API call. Firebase is getting it. I think we need to take it to the carrier and see what happened. It's
Well, I'm sure these are two different carriers. So now
Well,
we have two carriers.
for Todd's carrier. I want to look at Todd's carrier because I had no
No,
issue.
no.
with
But we
SMS.
have what we know is we have two identical problems in 2 days and two different carriers.
Mhm.
So now we're like, sure, maybe one carrier had a problem and it's just like a one-off, but now we're seeing a pattern and it's across carriers. So it's like even what's this carrier going to say? Yeah, we didn't get the text until you got the text. You know?
Then take that and we go to Firebase.
Yeah.
And then they have to look at it because yes, the guy that we talked to, he was helpful, but he did not have access to that true back end. He was just a support engineer. He didn't know everything that went on behind the scenes unless he had to pull somebody else in.
Right.
Not
he's
something
talking
that they were able to do on the call already.
yeah, I know. He was talking to the help desk. I know.
Mhm.
It's not helping us here. Okay. I'm just not convinced at all. I wasn't convinced yesterday, and I'm much less convinced now that it's happening again 1 day later with minimal amount of. I mean, imagine how many people don't tell us.
Mhm.
Something's wrong.
Well,
It's a-
we're unless we engage the carrier, I think we're going to keep doing ping pong with Firebase, like Firebase support. We have never engaged the carrier before on this.
Okay. So Todd, you're gonna engage the carrier on this.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Let's see this all the way through. I want to answer on this.
See what I can do.
All right.
The other thing is we just get rid of Firebase.
Perhaps that's the answer. I mean, does any reputable large scale app use Firebase anymore? I mean, like,
I don't know, like I haven't used apps that do SMS verification. The way that Firebase and I think everybody else does authentication these days, at least most of the apps I've used, is they want you to use Google or Apple authentication. And that's not what we stand by. We want it to rely on the phone number. That I'm not saying that we should do that, but I'm going to say that's where their priority is. Because SMS costs money.
okay, Duolingo, according to Google here,
Mhm.
Google's AI, Duolingo uses Firebase for authentication.
But can you request an SMS?
Presume.
Because for Firebase, like Firebase has like 5 different ways you can authenticate. You can authenticate with a username and password. You can authenticate with Apple, with Google, with any other third party OAuth provider. And they also provide SMS. So
Okay.
Firebase isn't just SMS. There's a lot of different sign-in methods to do.
True.
So and
Well,
I
I changed the prompt to ask if it used for SMS authentication. Now it seems to be smaller.
What's
But
that?
supposedly Snapchat does. But this is back in 2020.
Mhm. So if I went into Snapchat, and if I went to, let me try to just sign out. Okay, sign up.
Most apps of medium to large scale use their own dedicated servers written in almost any language framework, with maybe some ancillary data going to Firebase real time.
That sounds
Going that way gives more ownership and flexibility for the developers to adjust server functionality to be how they want. Also, most apps keep the bulk optimistically all their business logic on the back end, so it doesn't have to be implemented for every platform. I mean, should we not be using Firebase? I'm just wondering if, like, does Snapchat have these problems? Does Snapchat just, they don't care if like a bunch of their users don't ever get a auth code? It can't be. This can't be.
I would not be sure whether they use in Firebase, like for Snapchat, they use in Firebase
Mhm.
for sending SMS.
But again, there,
Large scale, you want to control this. You need to be in control. You don't want to like outsource it to a third party
Yeah.
because in case of those problems.
Yeah.
and I
Uh,
tried to sign in with Snapchat just now, and they only way that they're doing it is username and password.
Okay. So no Firebase.
No, okay, they could could be using Firebase, but no SMS with Firebase. There's a different thing. Like you can use Firebase as an authentication backend, and you can authenticate with email address and Google and all that. SMS is just one of the options they give you.
Scalability issues. This is like an article I'm reading here. Firebase's real-time database is excellent for simple applications, but as your app grows, you might face scalability challenges. If your app relies on relational data, you might find Firebase limiting.
this is different. This is like database.
Firebase
Using
is a suite. Firebase is a suite of backend utilities.
Right. So we're
Yeah.
talking about obviously just the
Authentication.
authentication with the SMS.
Smaller with that too is Firebase authentication SMS.
Okay. Um, well, I don't want to have people stuck in onboarding. It's like a nightmare. I mean, are we gonna have more people stuck in onboarding?
We could do a funnel. We should. I thought we're tracking this in Amplitude.
Yeah, what do we look for?
There should be a funnel for people that get dropped off in onboarding.
Yeah.
What percentage?
Wells, can you take a look at our amplitude analytics and see how many people? So let's give you two phone numbers that we know for sure got stuck. One today, one yesterday. So you know what to look for. And then I want to see if there's any other users
I
in
thought
the
we
last
had, I
week.
thought we had an existing funnel.
I don't know. Wells, are you there? Wells, can you hear me? You're on mute. Let me message him.
Oh, sorry, was that for me?
Yes.
Oh, indeed. What my updates?
No. Need you to look into analytics for me.
Okay, what's up? What's happening?
We've had 2 users in 2 days get stuck in onboarding at the authentication code screen. Todd, will you Slack the phone number to Wells that you used yesterday and the time?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Jerry, will you do the other one today and the time?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay. So Wells, I want you to take a look at the analytics on these 2 phone numbers, and you'll see that the user got stuck at the authentication code screen. I want you to see how many other users in the last week have had the same problem.
Indeed. And okay, do you know exactly where they got stuck, or that's part of the investigation?
That was the screen where they just never received an authentication code. So they maybe tried to go back to the phone number, but
Indeed, the phone number verification. Okay.
yeah, they couldn't get past the phone number verification.
Yeah, there's a funnel that we have that you can I thought we had a funnel that you can see all the onboarding events, and then you could see how many people drop off at the verification code sent.
Yeah, we have that one. And also, I did made sometime another one for this specific, uh, like verifying phone number issues for the time that we had the problem with Canada, I believe. I think I will do that again, and this time make it so it's saved in the global circles analytics, so we can use that.
Okay. Okay,
More
let's all right, let me know when you get back to me with some data on that as soon as you can, Wells.
Okay, okay.
All right, thank you. I see that Brandon shared a screen record, Jerry, but I'm confused as to what I'm looking at because that invite link doesn't look like the one we worked on. Like it looks like an old one. It doesn't have like the people he knows and circles on the bottom of it, and it says expires in 1 hour.
Let me.
Where did that come from?
That is a campaign. That is a group specific campaign link.
Like from a group chat?
That is from a group chat. That is the dynamic link that drops you in a group in Circles.
Okay. So we didn't update that one?
Correct.
Or is that one not possible to put names of people on the bottom? Probably not, right?
No, because a campaign link is not specific towards a target user.
Okay. Yeah, I want to work on this. We talked about it because we can customize it. Like if it's a group, let's say it's a group for the UFC group chat. Like the bottom of it could say, join the UFC group chat, right? We could have a cut kind of a, I think you mentioned it, we could have a unique one to each group it's generated from.
Yes.
Okay, that will go a long way. I need to help. I need to just increase conversion rates on these things. So I'm making a note to myself on that one. Okay. In the meantime, did we find out if that user ended up getting the SMSs at all?
They've never responded back. They said they were checking with him.
Okay, stay on top of that. Okay. All right, let's move forward though. Jerry, do you want to update us on how things are going elsewhere?
Yeah. So yesterday I made a change into the database for books. With how we're going to handle books and when their IDs change. And I don't know how often books change in Google. I couldn't get a definitive answer, and there was no like formal support for the Google Books API that I was able to find without going like through Google Cloud. But what I'm going to start doing is we're going to start storing the ISBN number of the book in the database. So if anything ever happens to that book, we can rely on the ISBN, which that is not going to change, as a secondary primary identifier for finding that book. And what's good with the ISBN too is that it's universal. So if we ever choose that Google Books is not our answer here because it doesn't search good, we could copy and translate everything to whatever we use for our new API using the ISBN number. That is what's that?
Has this done anything to prevent the situation where the book showed up on the third page?
No, because that is what I was working with Wells earlier, that he needs to implement the pagination to add the page. It doesn't change the search results.
Mm-hmm.
That's Google. But what I can say right now is that if a book like ends up missing, how today I said there was a book that could not be found, we can rely on the ISBN as a backup qualifier to find that book and locate it, so it doesn't just get lost.
Yeah.
That is implemented. In addition, yesterday, John, I went ahead and I implemented link tracking for our group links. So our campaign groups, how you said we could send out a group invite link, tracking to that for the group.
Okay, great.
So we have that too. And in addition, leading this morning, a bunch of bug fixes yesterday morning that we did on Standup. But this morning, I worked with Amit on making a new function for the SMS that we're going to send, a new UDF for the new SMS that we're going to send to people. The like if they try to use a deprecated version of the app, we're going to send them an SMS. We're only going to send it once, or we're going to send it once, maybe once a week.
Oh yeah, what happened with
What's
that text that went out in error yesterday saying that they were on an old version? How many people got that?
That was literally just pushed that morning. I think it was only one other person except Todd.
Okay, so you fixed that, right?
That was fixed. And
Okay.
yeah, that was something I said of the bugs we fixed, and I fixed the data loader. What I think, oh yeah, also I got the back button. We got the back button working on the group admin chat. So
All right.
closes the web view.
Okay, good.
Are we gonna have a build out with that soon? Pointing QA. We need to get Riyadh into flight so he can work on it.
We can. Do you want to have Amine do a QA build?
Yeah, QA build. I just want it to work with that group admin so we can have Ayad look at it and make the changes that you and Chantel said don't look correct, right?
Okay. Can you do that for us, Amine?
Yeah, I can do that now.
Okay. Alrighty.
Do you want me to look into the 11-digit phone numbers today? There's going to be a bit of work before I can just say it's safe to go. But if you want to make like 11-digit phone numbers like priority, I'll jump on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want people in England to be able to use that.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me work on that then.
Yeah, I'd like to know how many people. Maybe Wells could tell us how many people have tried to onboard from England over the last, let's say, this year, and couldn't onboard.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it might be hundreds, it might be thousands. We did have Wealth did that post, and they have a lot of people overseas. But that is really weird because I saw people onboarding. I mean, I guess maybe those were all 10-digit.
9 or 10-digit numbers, perhaps.
There was people from Ireland. Is Ireland not 11 digits? Let me see. I guess Ireland are 10-digit numbers.
So do you want to check whole UK or specifically Ireland?
I want to know if the UK, Britain, has had people attempt to onboard but not be able to this year. After first, do the first check you're doing, and then after that, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, for the United Kingdom, I have ready because this is the one I have here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had it for Canada, so I just changed it to United Kingdom. We can go through that together real quick.
Sure. What's that look like?
So yeah, it looks like this. We have a couple people.
Yep. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see this biggest spike here.
So that's just April, right?
Yeah, that's just April.
So like 10 people. Well, that's not ideal.
And they got through apparently.
They did get through.
Birth input error, but then completed.
What's their phone?
Reference created.
Go to phone number completed. Phone number.
Okay, phone number completed.
Yeah,
They're
that's a US area code.
it's a +1, unless it's +14.
416-310. That's a US area code. 416-318-1427.
Interesting.
Interesting, because their country is set to United Kingdom.
It could still be somebody from the US though with an American phone number.
Indeed.
Okay, check the
That would-
number.
Yeah. Wells, you should be able to make a funnel and see how many people have phone number input completed, but they don't have the login. So go down on this like stream. Oh, sorry. Like, so if you go down all the way to the bottom where they onboard, if you have users that have the phone number input completed, but then they don't have phone number verification completed, that means they didn't get through.
That makes sense.
You should be able to make a funnel or some report that fetches only those user streams.
Indeed, and that will solve the other investigation as well. Makes sense, Jerry. Thanks. Yeah. Let me see. Is it here? No. Yeah, I will do the other investigation here and see if they go through, and I will take a look at both, John, and share it both with you guys.
One second in here, I got a question.
Okay.
Okay, so I was talking to Tori about something separate from this, but did you find any other UK numbers that did or did not onboard?
Let me go for that. Just yeah, so there was one that onboarded, but it was a US number, even
Yeah.
though it was UK.
I know, but what about others?
Let's see.
You know, we can look at the whole year. You don't have to just look at April.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have here? Is this a different one?
It's 44.
Okay, that's so 44. I saw that number come in a lot actually. Leave it here for a second. That's a 10-digit number. So we don't have a problem with a 10-digit number. Let's see another person from the UK. Is there a way to filter by ones that just did not make it in?
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. This is just for viewing
Okay.
user streams from that country.
Is that one there? That one looked like that. Actually, that one with a long number. That usually indicates they didn't get a user ID. So yeah,
Because did not got past the phone number. So this is not a phone number. This isn't.
yeah. So they made it tried to enter a phone number.
First name Gigi.
Yeah, they weren't really
Yeah,
trying. They were
no,
not,
no.
yeah,
They're
it's
messing around.
hard to say on this. Okay, let's look at some more.
Sure. Okay, so this one did go through. Phone number input completed. +1, yeah, from London.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a US number.
Right.
Okay, then account created. This one +44 from
Yeah.
Gillingham.
Mm-hmm.
So he did go through. Let's see other day, like here for them.
That was a 10-digit number as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone with a long user ID doesn't get through. Like 530313, that user would have gotten through.
Yeah. Can you expand this to the whole year 2025? Well,
Yeah, you just have to navigate back here. So March.
or you just say 90 days. Is
Let me
fine.
see.
You can say
It's
90
90
days.
days, 60 days.
Yeah, we didn't open the app until April to other countries.
Yeah. So yeah, indeed, there's no data before April.
Uh,
Before April 6th.
all right.
Is the app open like for the whole world right now, or just specific countries?
Most countries.
Cool.
Okay, we'll continue investigating the drop off on the auth code screen, and let me know what you come up
Sure.
with.
I will do some finals here. And
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thanks, Wells.
no problem.
Mm-hmm. And then, let us know when that QA bill is ready.
Yeah, it's on the way, so it will be ready in 20 minutes, 25. You will get notification from this flight.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. Well, while you're here, then will you update us, please?
Oh yeah. Yesterday I was debugging that issue with the notification, the join group notification. It took most of my day to debug it, as it was tricky to know what's going on with it's there. But at the end, we get the bottom of it. It just like it was. It's not really a backend issue. It just how it there was like a field that needed to be there. It was expected to be there, but the backend it was not there because it has nothing there, but it needs to be there even if it's like empty. So that would fix that notification. We didn't need to do any front end change or anything. It was a one line back end change and it was fixed. And after that, I worked on I mean, the new chat admin with you. It was like from my side, it was all done from my side, but it was like one thing that it's missing, the back button, so the user can go back. After Jerry implemented that, I was able to know whether if the user pressed on the back button, so we can actually take the user back. So I did that too, and after that, I went with Ismail on the call for the legend list. Yeah, we went over that, the implementation and everything. He like we were as he said, he was able to do the inverting, but it was having some problem, like the dancing and all of that. And I was tasked with updating the showtime, because there is like a new version. Just that new, like though that new version, it was not released to npm. And npm is like when you have any new version, you release it to that registry so we can grab it. The changes, like the update was done, but it did not do the npm release. So I was tasked with like having that latest changes in our project. That what I was working on today. And yeah, I updated the showtime to the latest, and also it was breaking because they did some changes that would break our implementation. And also we had like a patch. A patch is like if you wanna include a change to a library that it's not there, you can do it yourself. Just that patch, it would not be able to be applied because there were a lot other changes that was not put in mind with our changes. Basically, it was like they were like, you can think of it like a merge conflict. So I went and I resolved the merge conflicts, and yeah, now it's good. Also, like the issue that Ismail was having the dancing after like upgrading the showtime, I don't see that problem or the overlaying or anything. So I think we're good. I'm not sure if he pushed his code, but
You
I think
weren't seeing the problems that he was just showing us?
yeah, because he was using an older version
Oh.
of the Showtime library.
Okay. We use Showtime Library in the chat.
In the chat, yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh. So work like in your on from your end, it works good.
Yeah, it works good. I don't see that dancing. But there's another problem I guess he fixed,
Hmm.
like the inverting and all of that.
Yeah.
So but as like of the things, the dancing and overlaying of the items, I don't see it. But I do see some blank spaces. I don't know if he fixed that on his end. So all
When,
we
like when you scroll.
yeah, when I scroll, yeah.
No, he didn't fix that. Okay. Is that possible to fix?
We just have to look into what we're missing and add it there so we'll fix that.
Okay. Well, um, maybe you should let him know because it sounded like he was going to keep working on it.
Yeah, I'm waiting on him to so he can have my changes merged with his and see how it's gonna be.
Okay, but you should let him know because when he talked about it earlier, I felt like he was just going to go back and keep working on it, but maybe he needs your changes first.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Yeah, we talked about yesterday that I will be tasked with upgrading the showtime, and once I'm done with it, I will let him know about it. So
Okay, and you're ready to let
um,
him know, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we let him know so because I
Okay.
don't want him to come back and start working on it and duplicating the effort.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, sounds good. So fix the problem with the dynamic link. What else do you have going on?
That's all for now.
Okay. Okay. When that QA build comes in, I want to look at the screens in onboarding where we we made those changes for this when the user doesn't allow contacts and just some of that UX on there.
Yeah, also like the issue with the suggestions you're having.
Yeah, that should be fixed, right?
Yeah, that should be fixed too.
Do we know
Okay.
if God is in test flight?
I don't remember if he is or not.
Let me reach out to him because if not, I'll need somebody with account access to get him in.
Okay, great. And then when you're done, Jerry, I have a question for you.
Yep. What's up?
Okay, so I guess with that screen record, they're showing that the link is taken into a white screen.
I think the app may have already been on a white screen.
Can we get a session replay and find out? Because I don't want to dismiss these things. These are like I consider this like onboarding at that level of importance because it's sharing a link to invite somebody.
Well, okay, so that is the white screen. I know exactly what that screen is. That's the screen that tries to add you into the group, and it looks like that they're not like transitioning over to the group. And he said it happens sometimes. So if they were not in the app,
Mhm.
what they would go to is they would go to the landing page. They would go to the enter your phone number web page, and
But he went to a white screen.
because he already has circles. But
Well, I don't want anyone to go to a white screen.
okay, I don't want to go to a white screen either. I'm just laying out the situation
Okay.
here that if somebody did not have circles and they click that link, they would go to a landing page where they enter their phone number. And then once they onboard in the app, they'll be dropped in the group. There's no way you'd be in a white screen by that. But what he sent me is the user already had circles installed. It handled it as a dynamic link. I tested the dynamic link myself and it dropped me in the UFC chat, no problem. What I think happened is that his app was in some kind of state that I can check via a session replay that had him stuck on that verification screen for the invite code and seeing why that did not progress into the group. That's what I should check.
Okay, take a look at it.
And I think this is something, like I said, it would only affect users that already have circles, and I don't think it's every time. But yes, I will look at it.
And is there a resolution? A solution?
I think there is a resolution.
Yeah.
There is once I look into it.
It says it only happens sometimes. So the meaning like this has happened more than once.
Yeah, it's how that screen gets dismissed.
Okay.
And it's only for that dynamic link.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do we need a front end change on that?
I'm thinking it will be a front end change because the link works fine.
Right.
So I can
Okay.
session replay and see what I see.
Okay. Well, maybe we can let Amine know
Mm-hmm.
when you get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just heard from Ayad. He doesn't have an iPhone. What do we need to do to add him to the internal builds?
Oh, we can send him an SDK, right?
Oh, an APK? Yeah.
Or APK. Okay.
Okay.
Amine, can you create an APK for this build in QA for Google?
I mean, I would do like this QA build that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I can do like an Android build. How same are we doing it? Doing we don't want to do.
It's for a user who's not in our same like test group. I don't know. Would that work okay, Jerry? What's the best way?
We can add him into the test group. I don't think there's a problem. He just has to be aware that he would be in a QA environment.
Yeah, Danny's not on this call. Have you done it before, Jerry?
I don't think I have access.
Isn't it easier just to create the APK?
That would be
Yeah,
for
well, yeah. I mean, I can do it. Yeah, I can create PK. Just like with our build pipeline, it's all streamlined and everything. It's just one change, but yeah, I can do the APK and send it to you, Jay, so you can send it to him.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, if you think it's easy to add an external user to it,
He could be having problems if he using Android because with Android he needs to be he needs to do some changes to his Play Store app, allowing some stuff and all of that. So he might be having problems. So I'll just do a PK and send it to him. Send it.
I mean, he's technical. He can understand. I'm pretty sure he can understand if we give him the direction. So
yeah, but there's just like a lot of unintended consequences. Like it does starts doing weird shit with different versions. And,
yeah,
um,
an APK. Let's see if we can do that first.
okay. Wells, did you get anywhere with that with the analytics yet?
Getting to it,
Okay.
nothing to show yet.
Okay. Let me know when you do. Ahmed, how have you been doing?
Yes, John. So today I worked on adding SMS for the depreciated API. So that completed and created pull request. Then after Jerry told me to work on creating a script to add a book API, newly added two fields there. 1 minute. What are those fields? 1 minute. ISBN 10 and ISBN 13. So Jerry, I just created pull request for it also. So yep, I tried to run it for 200 records, so and it's updating on QA using that script. Okay, I will show you here. but I did not run it more because we have some API rate limit for book API.
Hmm.
Yes, you can see it's updating. JD, can you see my screen?
Yeah. What I was gonna say is we should have some of these books in Redis too. I think that data should be stored in Redis.
So do you want me to fetch from Redis? Redis,
Oh.
we already calling their API here. So it's already calling from Redis also. 1 minute,
Okay.
where since we calling book details by book ID, it's calling from the Redis.
I see.
If it is,
Okay.
okay. Yep. Yep. So that's it. I created pull request. Can you please review it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it from my side, John.
Okay. Thank you, Amit.
Hey, let me send you this message that we made for the user that tries to use a deprecated API. Just look over that, and I put it in development chat. This is like if they try to do something in the app in their own old app version. If you could maybe look over that, maybe refine it. That's just what I told him to put for now for the message. But if you have a better idea, let us know what to fit with
Okay, where did you send it?
development.
Okay. And this would be like they'd receive an SMS if this happened?
Yes.
Okay. And some of just the text.
Like, you want me to send you the text?
Actually, I think I can copy it. I
Yep.
think I'll be able to. Yeah, one second. Just gonna shorten it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll be leaving around 4:35 my time today. I got to meet with the reception hall and pay the final contract and get all that finalized. So I'll be stepping out around then. I'll have
Okay.
Okay, I think I got some stuff for me to investigate.
Okay, just a moment. All right, Jerry, I sent you. That's in development. I just made it a little shorter.
Let me take a look. All right, works here. I mean, you see that message? You want to?
Yes. Let me
you want-
update it. Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right. So yeah, Wells, go ahead. What did you find out?
Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys.
Pod, do me a favor too with that phone that didn't get the auth code yesterday. Will you finish up any business you have on the phone and then log out and re-onboard, clear your cache and all that stuff, and will you do it a couple times? Actually, Todd said he's going to be right back, so I don't know. Todd, can you hear me? Well, that was 30 minutes ago. Todd, are you there? All right. Well, when he comes back, I'll have him do it. So go ahead, Wells.
Okay, so we have two ways of approaching the problem. This one here is the more standard one, which users complete the name input step, then the phone number input step, then the phone number verification completed.
Yeah.
So we can kind of see how it depletes here. But there is another way of looking at it, which I think is way more interesting, which is this one, in which we basically look into which users did run into errors in the phone number inputs, and which users made it through the verification completed even after going through errors.
Yeah.
So here we can see the real drop off of that. So
Right,
first off,
so out of 2,000 people, did 31 people get an error, or did almost all 2,000 get the error and only 31 didn't get the error?
no, third one did get the error.
31. Okay.
Yeah, and then from those 31 that get an error, only 11 of them got through after the error.
Okay. The problem though for us is that I don't think they're getting an error.
Yeah, it's what we are looking to capture is we want to look for the users that have phone input completed, but they do not have phone number verification completed. So can you get rid of that error step in the funnel?
Yes, sir.
Well, like actually go back to the other chart you had.
There we
So
go.
this is people who,
Th-
so we
Yeah,
have,
this is like the other chart.
yeah, so about 100 people didn't,
This would also count for it. Like that.
yeah, we want the screen after this
Mhm.
third box, right?
We're here. Let's go watch. Go up in Wells, and then that 4.3% drop off. Can we click into that? Okay. And what's
Kenya.
pretty big number? Kenya. Okay, Kenya.
Well, those aren't, I don't think those are phone numbers. I think that's that,
Yeah,
that on the left.
I don't know, but this is
Yeah.
Kenya.
Yeah. But
Uh,
on the left hand side, they didn't get user IDs for most of them.
right.
Yeah, these
let-
are IDs.
20 users.
The
So
number.
let's.
Yeah, go to the next one.
Yeah, Kenya's blocked. So go to the next one. Now, Namibia, I think they're either on the block list or they might have a long number.
Okay, perhaps we want to exclude these countries that are not in the list.
Let's see. Wait, go back, Wells. 264. So starting from the 814, how many digits is that?
That's
814.
9.
Okay, so that's 9 digits.
Yeah,
Maybe
Okay.
we.
Let's click through a few of these. I just want to get an idea of what we're looking at. Go to the next one.
Kenya again,
And go to the next one.
Rwanda,
One. Okay, next
in
one.
Africa,
Yeah.
Kenya.
Okay. Next one. Kenya again.
Yeah, if you guys want to take a look at which countries, I think we can group the events by country here.
Oh, that's okay. Keep going. Just do a couple more.
Kenya,
Also Kenya. Okay.
Zimbabwe, Senegal,
No. Hmm. Anchorage,
US.
Alaska.
Now this could be yeah. Let's see, 907, 301.
Yeah, after the one there's 10 digits.
Now this could just be a drop off AT&T carrier. Right. This would be like somebody who should have gotten through.
Let's look at the screen session replay on that one. Can we?
I don't think that would tell us if they got through.
Well, I want to know if they got an off code.
I don't know if they got it. I can't tell that from a session replay.
Well, wait. Yeah, you can, because you can see if digits go into the little
Oh,
bubbles.
that okay. Well, one sec. When was this date? This was on April 14th. So let me do user.ip. Their IP address is 24 237 84 61. Okay, I have a session replay from them. 2 minutes on iOS.
2 minutes. Interesting. That to me makes it seem to me like they probably didn't get the off code and were attempting it.
Let's see.
Go back to that, Wells. To the yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, this user they never put anything in the like they never put anything in the
Right, because they probably didn't get the code.
that is a possibility. And if I check Google now, if I check the Firebase logs and we do
Maybe there was more than one code set again.
well, we're gonna find that out.
Yeah.
Send verification code. Yeah, looks fine. I see where it did do like the retry, but as Amin said, that is not an issue. Like I said, this was an issue that I had. Like, well, not it wasn't an issue for me, but it was showing up on the logs. That I only see one retry, where it tried again with after 2 seconds with the capture verifier.
So we don't know if the user pressed the resend button though.
No, I do not. I do not see any resend. No, I don't see it from the session replay, and I don't.
Why don't we see Todd's data in here from yesterday?
Can we save this dashboard though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Save this dashboard, please. I want to go back to it.
Right, we should see Todd's from yesterday. I just want to make sure we're looking at the right thing.
No, we will not see Todd's because John, what's the proper wording for this? Todd got through eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the other user from today, they did not.
Right. So that user would show up on the report.
Let's make sure. I just have a feeling it seemed like a short list, and I thought we started at the top. So where's that user? I want to see the user from today.
Could we, if we ran that same funnel for today, was it being ran for today?
Yeah, it's being ran for last 30 days. Let's
So if we ran it for today,
for today
Yeah, go to daily.
daily.
well, you have to go to calendar,
Yeah, that's true.
and then sources last 7 complete days in today, or that works too, I think. No.
You got to give it an end date. It had a start date, but not end date.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And then click in that drop off.
In here,
Yes. And find, okay.
8% dropped off.
So who is this 916? Go up to the top. Or yeah, you can find their name and put Kim. And then
Right.
Sacramento Vanessa Smith.
Vanessa Smith,
And there's our person.
Irene.
That's our person, our 52 from Mexico.
So we have 4 today.
Now let's go on these session replays though,
Mm-hmm.
and see, and that's the thing too, is that they might have just not entered the code. That's a whole nother thing too.
It's possible.
So let's take this person's IP address here. Let me plug it in real quick.
This 73109
Mhm. I got it.
11083.
Let's see. I can't see anything for that. 70. Oh, what kind of phone were they on? Samsung. They're probably on a low end Samsung. I don't have.
Yeah, Samsung S23.
Oh, surprised it doesn't give a session replay, but
We have one on the iPhone port 14 Pro Max.
this is that same user. This is that other user that we know, to our knowledge, did not get it. Go to the next user. Okay, let's try this one maybe. 97.191.
He's on Android also. Samsung S23.
Good. It should. Why are we not getting a session replay for Android? 97, 191, 53, 129. Okay, go to the next one. 166, 205, 117, 15. Okay, we have a session replay on this one.
Awesome.
Let's see.
I'm afraid this is a big problem.
Like those 4 users are like out of how many users?
That's just for today. So I don't know, out of like 20 or 30.
Okay, this user. It says sent SMS code, but then they closed the app. They clicked it and then they closed the app.
Yeah, but they might have closed it going to their SMS chat to get the
No.
code.
They hit the button. Like they hit the button to progress, and then the session ends like a second later.
How can you progress without the code?
What do you mean? How can you progress without the code?
If they hit the button to progress, they need the code to progress.
No, they hit the button to submit their phone number, and then
Right.
close the app. Like not the code, but their phone number to
How,
request.
how much time went by?
3 seconds,
Okay.
and they just
Yeah,
closed.
but what makes you think they weren't going to their message app?
I don't have another session replay from them. I don't think somebody would close the app like that. I mean, I only have.
I mean, I've seen it with Todd's screen records. Like he'll, especially on Android, like it does. It's not like iPhone. Sometimes, like you can just press it right off your keyboard.
This is an iPhone.
Yeah, but it also doesn't always do on an iPhone.
Mhm.
But like they could have gone. They could have. Does it say they force closed it or backgrounded it?
App is in background.
Right.
but I don't see another session following it.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Were they invited by what are we looking at here, Wells?
I'm just looking at the user streams that did go through to perhaps find out that there are too many that actually worked.
Okay. Let's go
Yeah,
back.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
these streams here, 3 of them are for today, and 1 is from yesterday, which is this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. That one's yesterday.
Yeah, this one is yesterday. The rest of them is today.
Let me see the one on top again.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't find a session replay for this one, Jerry?
This is that user.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think this is the one Jared just looked.
What I'm looking at.
Okay. Let me see the third one.
I
This
could
one.
find a session replay for that one.
Go back to the third one. Or
Oh, this is one from Mexico. Sorry,
right.
this is our user from Mexico.
And do we have a screen record or a session replay?
Probably. Let me find it. One sec. Yep.
Okay. Well, let me see the fourth one. Also, this is an Android as well.
Yeah, 2 Androids, 2 iPhones.
Mm-hmm. But we couldn't find a session replay for this one.
Right.
The S23 FE.
Mm-hmm.
The FE is a problem device. Or this one might be Todd's. Well, no, it wouldn't be 509 area code.
Yeah. So
Yeah, this is you.
I'm looking at this user session replay, and no, I mean she waited. She waited for the code, and then she requested another. And then 20 seconds after requesting the second code, she exits the app.
Right. Which most people would do.
Indeed.
And then what how long was this whole session right here for Gail Stewart? Looks like 5:56 a.m. to 6:01, so 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Now, go to phone. She did phone input completed a lot.
Yeah, I see that.
Go
Meeting.
for different phone numbers. Does she use different phone numbers?
No, sometimes I couldn't get to reproduce it exactly as it happens in the app in the analytics, but sometimes when you actually go from the phone input completed to the phone verification step, there is an error, and you have to go back and then in again.
That shouldn't happen on a store version. I know that can happen on a simulator, but it should happen on a store version. Now, it's complete. She's doing this a few times. Is it possible that she is using a let me try to verify this phone number.
Yeah, let me see. Go to the
Just a
second
second.
one. I want to see the one from Mexico again. Did it have multiple phone number input complete?
Going from Mexico. Yep.
Um, it did have they did do it twice. See, so same behavior.
No, there's only once.
Oh, that's birthday. Never mind. And go to the one above it.
Yeah, just once.
Okay. And go to the one above that.
Yeah, just once.
Interesting.
If anything, if I'm looking at that number, the number says it is a it's a Verizon phone.
Mm-hmm. It's a Samsung FE. Like I think those are really small.
I don't think they're very small, but I think that they are smaller.
It's the one that Todd has, and like the buttons overlap the input fields.
Mm.
Todd, are you here? Is this the FE here? Go back to that, Wells.
This?
Yeah. Which one's the FE here? It's a $2,000 phone. Or is this a? Oh, this is
Oh, this
in
is reais. Yeah, this is.
reals. Is that how you say it? Reals.
Yeah, reals.
Reals. Okay. So I don't know how many dollars that is. Is that expensive or is that inexpensive?
That's expensive.
It is expensive.
But usually electronics here are way more expensive than US.
Right.
Depending on what you want to buy, it's cheaper to fly to US and buy it there and go back, and you will pay less than buying it in Brazil.
Yeah. Is the screen size on this S23 FE, is it really small compared to like normal Samsungs?
That's a good question.
Yeah, just for the price conversion, that's about 450.
It's the same actually, same size.
Mm.
Perhaps less hardware.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it. I'm looking up the phone. It's a $200 phone here.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a problem for us. Well, I don't like this at all. 4 people today didn't get in. Maybe one person chose not to. It's hard to say. The person on who was the person on top again? This one you watched the session replay. We don't know.
On cam.
Yeah, Song Cam. This is the one I watched, and it's just like they closed the app.
Mm-hmm. They backgrounded it.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm
You can-
thinking here.
Mhm.
Perhaps having analytics for when they actually type something into the verification code. Oh,
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't help us if they don't get the code at all. I mean, she could have backgrounded the app to go get the code, and then there's no code.
yeah, perhaps we can have like a focus effect on the verification code, so we know how many people didn't actually get to even click on that at all and did not fill the input code.
I don't know. I have to keep a really close eye on this. Let me see the third one down again. This one lasted about a minute. Oh, this is the one from Mexico. Let me see the second one.
Hands-on for Sacramento.
So they returned a few days later.
Actually, a month later. This is April 27th.
Yeah, that's just a few days ago. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I guess. Hmm. Phone number input completed, then back button. So you couldn't get a session replay on this one. right?
Uh,
A Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus.
when I'm looking at from their IP address, I couldn't get it. Let's see. Let me try it again. 97, 91, 53.129. Yeah, I don't see the session replay of that. Do they use any other IP wells? Do you see what this? 10:20 p.m. Or 6:20 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on the 8th. Let me see if I could probably try to find it manually. This would be Pacific Daylight Time, so 8:20 p.m. Or no, yeah, 8:20 PDT. So 15 p.m. Wait.
So they basically press the back button on the phone number verification. That was the last thing. But after phone number input completed.
Oh yeah. Perhaps want to look at 5 p.m. for you.
Yeah, I don't have a session. I don't have a session replay. I'm looking. 6:20 Pacific Daylight Time. Yeah, I tried to look for that.
Yeah, because this is GMT -3, so it's my time zone.
Right. Well, I'm looking at the bottom where client event time.
Oh, here. Okay. PDT. Smart.
So with after phone number input completed, does that mean they were waiting for an off code? The one in the yellow?
Yes.
That means they were waiting for the auth code and then press the back button after that.
It
Yeah.
looks after 50 minutes, 50 seconds, which they should have been able to request for it.
That's a resend. Yeah.
Do you have analytics on that resend code button?
Yeah.
Well, do we for sure, Wells?
We should have, but I'm not seeing it on the logs.
Right, you missed it. I had no example. Go back to that list. Go to the one from Mexico.
Yeah, third one.
This one, yeah.
Phone number.
Resend button.
Yeah, send request.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, good. So the one above the one we were just looking at before this, which one was that?
Take this one. No,
No, this.
one.
Yeah, they hit the back button,
Yeah, so apparently they did not hit the request.
but it was requesting it right there, and then they didn't get it. Maybe.
Yeah, so yeah, this phone number input complete indicates that they completed the step and they went to the phone verification, but they never completed the phone verification. So from that screen on, they just pressed the back button and went back to the phone verification, to the phone input.
I really wish I knew if they got the code or not.
Let me find their phone number again real quick. This is the phone number is 775-315 8267.
Exactly.
Okay, and I'll look for it. Yeah, in this, I found it, and yeah, this worked on the first request. There was not a retry on this. But I see the API request at, it says we got it at 19:20, so 10:20:54 seconds. Yeah, so this is 48 seconds. It's like 6-second difference, but still this user waited. This user waited a minute almost for the code and did not re-request.
Yeah, maybe just didn't get the code again.
You mentioned it was 10:20:52. Like 6 seconds?
Yeah, I mean that could almost have a discrepancy though. It's really close.
Are you sure it's 10:20 right on your end though? Because this is GM3 minus 3. So this is my time zone.
Well, mine's in UTC, so it's like 19:20 and 54 seconds. But it's still in the same minute.
Indeed.
So Todd just messaged us. He said he talked to Xfinity and they don't think there was any network issues on their end.
I don't know.
They wouldn't let me speak to anyone directly, or I couldn't talk to anyone directly that had that kind of access to that data. They just said that it was very clear on their end that there were no network outages, and just thought it couldn't have been an issue on their end.
They can't even give you a log on their SMS. Like they can't.
Dude, I was hammering them and I was pissing them off and trying to get this information, and I was calm as hell, and I was trying not to insult them too much.
Yeah, see, that's unfortunately, I don't think you got hold of the right person. I think you're
There's-
aware too.
No, I know that I didn't talk to the person I really wanted to talk to, which is one of the upper tier technicians that would have access to that kind of information. But I'm talking to their customer service. There's no like. I asked, and I talked to a supervisor finally because the other guy was pissing me off. And even she was really really cool, but she didn't have access to the information either, and didn't have anyone that we could talk to.
Will you try onboarding on that phone a few times?
Yeah, I will.
I want to see if it gives you any more trouble.
Yeah, I will. It's a good idea.
Okay. Eventually it won't. It'll say too many off attempts,
All right. Okay.
But just try it a few times. Finish whatever business you have on there because it might lock you out for an hour.
Okay. Yep. No worries. Thank you.
Yeah. I know how that goes.
Yeah, John, I really, really like to hope we can poke the right person with a carrier that could give us information out of an SMS. Because fortunately, I think